not once is there ever mention of the band Darkness in this movie. I'll be honest with you. I'm very, very disappointed. Not even, the big hit in the credit song. Nothing? This is a movie about a family that goes camping in the Grand Canyon when their son falls into a hole and then discovers some magical rocks. And then he decides to take those rocks. They go back to the house, and now the rocks are really pissed off. And they're like, yo, we just been moved. Rocks don't like to be moved. We are planted right here. We are rocks. Rocks like to stay. So now they're going to mess up this family's day. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Don't go see this movie. I'm going to keep this review very short. This is not a good movie. There's nothing that you haven't seen in any horror movie. I'm a big fan of the horror genre, and when the horror genre is good, and this is not. I love ghosts. I love spooky stuff. This is not it. This is not the movie that you want to go see if you want any spooky, ghostly stories. It can be spooky at times, but there are no skeletons, so I'm a little disappointed in that one too. We'll get into the major problems of this film. The big problem to me is that there's a lot of characters, plot lines that go absolutely nowhere. They introduce the fact that their daughter has bulimia, only to it never to show up ever again in the film, and was only in that one scene to try to make the movie longer. Because this movie's only like an hour, I think it's like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. It's really short, but it feels like 2 hours, and that's not a good thing. There's other scenes like this kid is talking to a ghost named Jenny, but the ghosts don't have names, or as Jenny ever mentioned, they just keep referring to it as I'm talking to Jenny. But who is Jenny? There's like 5 ghosts in this movie that they don't have names, and that one at least seemed friendly. I don't know. It was just an abandoned plotline, which was stupid. There's also another plotline where Kevin Bacon and his wife have they're having an affair essentially, and their marriage is like going, down in the toilet. This movie's stupid. Like, it is never mentioned again. A huge, huge problem I have with the movie is that the camera is constantly shaking the entire time. I've noticed this, right? They never steady the camera. It happens right at the beginning when they're in the Grand Canyon and they're fighting the rocks, and they're having these shots of like mountains, and you can see the fucking camera shaking. It annoyed the living shit out of me. I was just like, come on, steady the camera. Just steady the camera. Just steady the camera. They never do. Not once. Not fucking once. I don't even want to get excited like talking about this movie. I need to stay monotone as possible to illustrate how boring this movie is. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but the ending is the dumbest thing. Who cares? I haven't seen Green Room yet, but pretty much every horror film I've seen this year is pretty awful. And it just seems like a paycheck movie. It seemed like they can make this movie for extremely low budget. There's like barely any there's special effects obviously in CGI, but they look terrible, so there couldn't be much money spent on it. All the money it seemed like they got was to book Kevin Bacon. There's a lot of characters from ABC shows in this movie as well, like the main girl from Once Upon a Time, some people from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, was this movie done by Disney? I don't understand, or some shitty partner of Disney, because there's a lot of ABC characters in this movie, and they literally go off to do nothing. I'm going to give this movie 2 spooky skeletons out of 10. Don't see it. Avoid it. Go watch anything else. And if you like my reviews and you would like to see more, subscribe to my channel and tell me what you want me to review next. Until then, I'm just going to keep reviewing every film to come out. Oh well. Peace.